Imagine losing a loved one. Then upon that person's death, the body is immediately removed, cremated, then only afterwards are you notified of your loved one's passing. Folks, this is exactly what happened to one of the most gifted psychics of all time, who was also the most accurate remote viewer in CIA history. His name was Pat Price. Pat Price was a retired Burbank police officer who possessed extraordinary psychic abilities. And as a police officer, he used those psychic abilities to help solve many crimes. In the 1970s, the CIA recruited Pat along with other remote viewers for a secret program designed to spy on the Soviet Union. This program was called Project Stargate. Because of his psychic abilities, Pat was asked to team up with two scientists, physicist Russell Targ and parapsychologist Hal Puthoff of the SRI, the Stanford Research Institute. The two scientists proceeded to test Pat's remote viewing capabilities by giving him numerical coordinates to certain locations and asking him to remote view those locations. Then sketch down on a sheet of paper what he saw. Understand, he was only given the coordinates and no other information. The two scientists saw that Pat was amazingly accurate. After successfully demonstrating his psychic abilities, Pat was removed from the SRI and started remote viewing for the CIA directly. On one assignment, the CIA gave Pat coordinates to a secret site deep within the Soviet Union. When Pat attempted to remote view that site, he was mystically being drawn away by what psychics called an attractor. The source of this attractor was found to be in the vicinity of Mount Hayes in Alaska. Pat traveled psychically underneath Mount Hayes, and what he saw was totally unexpected. He described seeing a deep underground extraterrestrial base. He saw machines and computers that didn't look familiar to him, and stated that the operators looked almost human, but were more like humanoids, and they were thin with large heads and eyes. Pat also said that he saw humans underneath Mount Hayes, dressed in military attire, working alongside these super advanced humanoid beings. He stated that everything about the humanoids looked human except for the heart, lungs, blood, and eyes. The series of events that unfolded afterwards are truly shocking. 2 days after Pat's remote viewing session of Mount Hayes, he was walking through his hotel lobby. A man bumped into him, then Pat felt a sharp pain in his leg. The next day, Pat Price was dead. No investigation was done. No autopsy was performed. His body was immediately removed, cremated, then only afterwards did they notify his wife of his passing. And if all that wasn't enough, Pat's remains were supposedly placed in an unmarked grave in North Hollywood. Now that was a rather short, compact version of the Pat Price story. There are many more details about it that I can't get into in this short video, but some things to consider. In terms of sheer accuracy and the ability to see specific details, the CIA had no better remote viewer than Pat Price. With that being said, let's say you don't believe any of the things that he saw underneath Mount Hayes while remote viewing it. Let's say you don't believe that there was any secret alien base down there. Let's say you don't believe that there were any humanoid beings down there working alongside humans like he said he saw. Let's say you don't believe that there were any high-tech electronics or anything like that down there. Ask yourself this question. Why would they, upon his death, take his body, cremate him, and then notify his wife that he passed away. Maybe his family didn't want him cremated. Maybe they wanted to perform an autopsy on him. Why would they do such a thing? Ask yourself that question. The Pat Price account is the most credible one of its kind, more so than the Dose underground alien base account and even Area 51. The reasons are because Pat Price wasn't looking for aliens or alien bases. The assignment given to him by the CIA was to remote view a secret site in the Soviet Union. He just happened to stumble upon this information because his consciousness was being drawn to Mount Hayes. He wasn't working at that facility, nor did he know anyone there. Manipulation is something that I've been speaking a lot about lately, and the enormous amounts of manipulation are easy to see in the Pat Price story, and I'll be speaking more about those things in coming videos. But for now, just a few more facts about Pat Price. It's important to note that the things that Pat Price saw were confirmed by other remote viewers. One of them was Joseph McMoneagle, an excellent CIA remote viewer in his own right. Not only did McMoneagle confirm the presence of the base underneath Mount Hayes in Alaska, he also confirmed the presence of a base underneath Mount Pedillo in Spain, under Mount Nyangani in Zimbabwe, and one under Mount Zeal in Australia. McMoneagle also stated that there were bases under the ocean as well, which would explain the crafts that military personnel have reported seeing flying in and out of the ocean for years, but they're always threatened and told to keep quiet about those. Okay, I know we got to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt, not only because of manipulation, but also deception. But the truth is, we really don't know that much about this planet that we're living on. We humans do not dwell on Earth by ourselves. We share this planet with other beings. That's a fact. Anyone who's ever dealt with a spiritual being of any kind can confirm that. Even scientists are acknowledging them, referring to them as interdimensional beings or multidimensional beings. Guys, there's a lot of proof that they're here. The questions are, how many different types are here, and what exactly are they doing? Thanks for watching, guys, and God bless.